Now we're talking about parameters, in this case in C++. Remember that sometimes in your node you want to modify some parameters and you don't want to recompile again the code or execute or stop the code in Python also to run it again, just changing some parameters. Probably you want to use dynamic configure and change the parameter online, or in the most basic example, use it as a command line argument or no, when you execute a launch file. So this is what we are trying to target here. So next thing is to navigate to the source folder and create our example, cd source, ROS2, package create, build, type, amend, cmake. The license is Apache 2.0 and C++ parameters and the dependencies RCL CPP dependencies RCL. Okay, if everything is okay, we create a package. The next thing is to modify the package to accept or just to check what is inside and replace our basic configuration. So let's see, move to the CPP parameters, ls, modify the package. Here, okay, that's done from the previous example. Let's close everything. Here are the parameters if you want to modify the name, version, sorry, the name not, the version, the description, and so on. You can go and do it. But for us now, we are only looking about, we have here the dependency, we need that for the parameters, this one. And let's continue. Now, inside the source, where we will be creating cd source. Okay, let's gedit, and probably we will be looking at the CPP parameters node CPP. Let's create this file. Okay, now that we have this code, let's explain it a little bit. We have some functions here from Chrono, functional for functional programming, the string, because we're using our a string parameter as an input. Next, we'll be creating a simple node that will be, in this case, let me see if this is only just putting everything on the terminal. Okay, yes. Here we declare a parameter called myParameter, and this parameter by default is the string word. And this, with in the constructor, we create a timer that will execute a callback each 1 second. Call it timer callback, and inside timer callback we request the parameter as a string and print it on the streaming output terminal. In the end, string vector CPP new parameter CLPP. Okay, here we capture the parameter and set the parameter to this new vector if we change it over the time. So at the end, we'll do the same things that we did previously. We initialize the node, spin this node, And if everything goes wrong or we decide to shut down, we'll shut down the node. That's all about this here. Let's see if we created this. Yes, here it is. The next thing that we need to do is to add the executable over the CMake list. So we will execute gedit CMake list. And over the CMake list, we will see if we got the RCL CPP. Okay, here we got it. Now we will try to add the executable. Add executable minimal param node on basic param node source CPP or param node CPP because we will be doing an example param node CPP. We will do an example on Python too. We will get the target dependencies linked to this node. Param node CPP of dependency RCO CPP. We will install this executable over the folder of the project in the install path. So install targets param node CPP destination lib project name. Okay, if everything goes okay, we will run this thing. Sorry, compile this thing, run this thing, and we will check what's happening. Remember, just recapping previous chapters, if you want to install every dependency that will be needed over your packages in your workspace, you can do it with ROSDEP. ROSDEP install -i from path, which path? Source, ROS distro humble -y to keep it running without confirmation, just keep running. But we will not do it because I have some other package I don't want to install, just the one that I have here, source install setup.bash. And then you can run the ROS2 run cpp parameters, which name param node cpp. Okay, here is the node working. It's just a minimal node that it prints this thing, and we will see in the param list what's happening. ROS2 param list. Oh, sorry, source install ROS2 param list. Okay, we have here some parameters of quality of services, but here is the one that is interesting for us. So let's change or add or modify this parameter. So ROS2 param set on minimal param node, because this is the node that is named minimal param node, which parameter my parameter, and let's get hello world. From world, we will change from world to, let's say, Panama. Hello, Panama. Obviously, because we are requesting the things that we did previously, we are not inputting everything and requesting to hold on. This is just how to set the parameter. That's on the code here. What is here? Get the parameter as a string. Each when we get the callback, we get this parameter and put it here from here when we recall it here. So each time it's working, it will return to the hello world, not the hello Panama. So if we want to change it over the launch file, because that's the main issue of using parameters, let's move and make some parameters over here in the launch field. Let's move and create a launch file over the CPP parameters file. CD source, CD CPP parameters, make tier, launch, make tier, launch, and inside launch we will create a file called let's call it in the same thing that we did on the, just to keep it the same thing over CPP param node CPP param node launch.py. Oh, sorry. Let's copy the launch file that I have here. Okay, the package will be CPP parameters. The executable is not CPP parameter, is executable. We put it on this in the CMake list. And the name, we can put any name, param node CPP. Again, if we want, I think we will not handle any error. Emulate TTY, yes, and my parameter will be, let's say, Panama. Okay, here. I don't remember if I explained to you launch files, but I will explain a little bit here. We will need launch description and we'll need the node. So we will return all the nodes and arguments here on the launch description over this function that generates launch description that must be named here. If we want to be more cleaner, we can do it over, let's say, let's move it and be cleaner. I'm just keeping these things. Hopefully it will build, because in Python usually you have some errors about that. Okay, done. I don't remember if it will work, but let's see if we can do this together. Let's see. Mm, okay, let's see what happens here because I don't remember if it will work as is. I have probably to add some modifications. And next thing, we have to install the directory of the launch over the share. So let's modify this here. Install directory launch destination over the share and the project name. Mhm. Probably it's better modify this thing over using Visual Studio Code, but I'm sometimes old school. Not at all because it will be old school. I will be using Vim. I usually use Nano because it has some better improvements, but Vim is okay for me too. Probably will be using Vim later. Now let's see, we've got everything. Let me see, launch. Okay, let's try to compile. Let's see if it works. Hmm. Okay. Okay, the issue was that I was on editing outside. I created this file outside, and when we move it and continue editing, the file was created again outside. That's why it's better to use some editor like Visual Studio Code or PyCharm or C Lion in this case with C++. Now let's try again to compile everything. Okay. Now let's CPP parameters. CPP. Okay, that was the online argument. We put it Panama, and it was initially fetched and returned to the default execution of the node. We also can set it here again to see what is happening. Not found source. ROS2 topic list. No, ROS2 param list. So it is param node CPP, my parameter Panama, and it will set here Panama, and will return again to work. So that finishes this about parameters. I hope you like it. Let's move now again with the same theme but in Python.